It's the Controller Bob, Captain Joel Show. Controller Bob and Captain Joel Show. Controller Bob and Captain Joel. Controller Bob and Captain Joel Show.
Anyway,
that's for somebody to
Are we
decide.
started yet?
All right, so aloha, Bob.
Hey, Captain Joel. Did we use your last name?
Yeah, we're allowed to use my last name. This is our show.
This is our show. Well, all right. Hey, did you have any coffee today?
1 cup.
I did not. This is all natural.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got one eye open?
No. And of course, the best part is nobody knows what time this was actually being recorded because
it could be
people
midnight.
could think this is 6 a.m. kind of stuff for us.
Yeah. Before we go to work.
Right. So what did you do for a living?
Well, I used to milk cows.
That's right. You did. So here's an interesting thing about his hangar is you've got some amazing tools on the hangar having nothing to do with aviation, right?
Yeah, I went home when my uncle passed away. We went through his attic.
Yeah.
And my great-grandfather's tools from when he built the farm and a lot of other things over the years, antique tools.
Yeah. And
I brought them home.
Super cool.
About 550 pounds in the back of the 210. It was a heavy load.
Were you over gross?
Never. It was a short runway.
Right.
On a cold day.
Was it gusty? Did you have a crosswind?
Always.
Do you use right rudder?
It's required.
So he bought me a stinking Use More Right Rudder t-shirt, which I'm never wearing in public. I will not wear
We're
here.
wearing the right rudder the next episode.
Oh my gosh. Do you think I should wear the right rudder next episode?
And I'll wear the 7600.
Will you wear the 7600? Yeah. Well, we don't want to do that either.
You can get anything you want on Amazon.
What is your next big... So we have to develop a logo, don't we? Are we just going to use this logo?
Aloha Bob.
Well, I don't know. We can do that. Or Captain
The
Joel.
BW show.
I don't know. We could do that. We're being recorded over the left here.
It's behind the scenes.
I'm under
on
a
that
lot
side.
of pressure. You realize this?
I can't take it.
Yeah, I know. So, hey, when I work, do I feel pressure? No.
Oh.
I know. I'm very comfortable, just like you are very comfortable in an airplane. Do you think I'm comfortable in the airplane?
You're getting there. If I wasn't there yelling at you, but
well, that is
even
true.
when I'm not in the
That is
airplane
true.
with you,
so when
I'm
we're
yelling
coming
at
in, there's different ways people respond. He just loves coming at me, which I'm sure Jason has the same experience, don't you think? Because you did train him, right?
Yes.
Have you been watching Jason's Saturday coffee things?
Yeah.
Do you think there's really coffee in that coffee?
He's got a coffee maker behind him, and I never see any coffee in it.
It's a facade.
It's
not real.
I
So
really
look,
don't think he drinks coffee.
This is my coffee right here. So this is my Oshkosh koozie that I got, which we're not going to this year, which is very unfortunate, obviously. But, does Jason
I don't
drink
get a
on camera?
tower tour this year?
No tower tour. No, does Jason drink on camera?
He turns his head sideways.
He does, I know. Do you ever take selfies while you're on camera? So when he does this with your camera,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty. All right, let's talk about something aviation-wise. What do you think?
All right. So we're in the middle of your instrument training right now.
That's right.
So we're in the final weeks of instrument training.
Took the written and spent way too much time staring at Jason's ugly mug at my kitchen table.
What'd your wife say about Jason?
She wanted to know if I had some sort of love affair with Jason. I told him I didn't have a product in my hair, but because he has a lot of product.
That was funny. You told me that. That was.
Yeah, that's true. But it was great though because it really did help. I passed.
You did good.
I did. Yeah, I passed. Well, I was shooting for 100. Now, realistically speaking, when you take the written, whether it be a private pilot or whether it be an instrument, in my experience, is it realistic to get 100? And it's guys who get 100, it's awesome. People that do that, good on you. But realistically speaking, what would you expect?
Well, I only had to look up 4 codes, so you only need to be retrained on 4 items.
Right. Well, that's true. But it was. So I sit there and I get the results, and the reality is, how many questions are in the bank for each test? I don't know. A lot.
They change.
Right? And is it realistic to think that you could be I wanted to be good at all of that. But anyway, so I passed the written. That was great. So we're going to do the 3 hours of test prep flying, right?
That's
We're gonna knock that
we are
out.
scheduling that in the next 2 weeks.
That's right. And then it's off to the check ride, right? And there's a great book you can see right here behind us. Is How to Pass Your Check Ride.
Yeah,
It's right there. You can see
it's on the
it.
blue screen.
Yeah, it's on the blue screen.
Or green
behind.
screen. I guess they call it green.
And look here. I've never actually got to do this, but
Are
look
you
in the
touching
links
me?
below. Yeah. So for the for the link to the book because you can get that.
Yeah.
So I have to buy that book. You know why?
There's nothing for free at
Nothing
Jason's
for
shop.
free at
No.
MzeroA, baby. Well, that's a problem, isn't it?
I'm still waiting on my green tea.
We are
You know, he
not.
talks about coffee.
With
he
honey,
really
right?
thinks green tea with
Do you
with
know
honey.
that there is no flight attendant call button in the Bonanza?
We need to work on that.
We have no. Well, guess what? Who's the flight
Ding.
attendant? Yeah. Bing bong. Have you ever thought about putting your? Now, so let me ask you this: how many people have put the flight attendant call button on their phone?
Well, that's what we were just going to go into.
I
that.
was thinking about
So
to do that.
when
Right.
when
yeah.
Bob calls me, I get
Right.
ding dong.
Ding dong, right?
Yeah, get the
Yeah.
Southwest flight attendant bell.
Right. Yeah.
Then I know my flight attendant needs
That's
me.
right. Did you bring water? Because I bring a cooler full of water. Because when you go flying, you know, if you're flying with somebody or you need something like that, what's a good? You gotta have something to drink, but you got to be
It's
careful.
all about
right?
the mission.
It's all about the mission.
In our last big mission was 6 weeks ago because
That's right.
there hadn't been a lot of missions.
That's right, not a lot of
in
missions.
This,
And we
in the
flew
last few weeks.
4 hours out to Louisiana.
It was
I
3.8
hope
out.
seriously though, hopefully the people in Monroe, Louisiana, we flew in there 2 days after.
We were there 2 days before the storm,
Right. Mhm.
And dropped the family off that were getting out of Florida.
Nicest lady ever. She was
Yeah,
awesome.
and
Yeah.
we landed there. FBO, we didn't stay long. We
Right.
had to wash our hands 3 times,
Yeah.
and they didn't. They took a picture of my credit card. They didn't want to.
They were awesome, though.
But the great.
Yeah, it was great. And then 2 days later, the tornado hit. So
And wiped out the
thoughts
whole
out
airport.
to those people out there because, as I was watching news going, I said, "Holy smokes, I was right there," and it was kind of weird, surreal to look at this.
your mouth.
Oh no! It's
Wow.
look at this. Ding dong. Oh, look at these tea bags. They're
Are those MzeroA official tea bags? Is there a
very,
logo on
very
them?
nice.
That's nice.
We'll let that cool down. See
Yeah.
the steam coming off of there.
All right, is this coffee with Joel?
And it's the highest airport.
What is that?
That's LXV. It's Colorado. I can't remember it, but I've been there.
Have you really?
Well, yeah.
How many airport? What is your bucket list of airports? If you were going to go,
Telluride is my next
Really?
goal on a hot summer day.
Really, that's what you want in a Cub,
In the J3.
in a J3. First, that's going to be a problem. But seriously though, do you think Telluride for sure?
I like to do that.
Yeah.
That's to experience it.
Yeah.
The Charleston, West Virginia's good. That's up on top of the mountain if you've never done
What
that.
about Leadville?
Yeah, that's LXV, Leadville. It's in Colorado.
As the mug.
Yeah, I don't remember that mug, but I went into Eagle, Colorado, and I was there for 5 days, and you run out of things to do.
Now, isn't that in a valley?
It is in the hole.
Is it kind of get squirrely
You
wind-wise?
cross the VOR at 14,000 feet. I think the field elevations are around 6,200.
What were you flying at the time?
Pilatus.
Oh, were you?
And
What do you think of that airplane?
that is a rocket ship.
You like it?
That's a good airplane.
Okay. Because that's not what you say about every airplane.
No, there's some that I
Less than ideal?
yeah less than ideal.
Yeah? Okay.
We call them turds.
Yeah, well, that's true though, because I think some airplanes are really cool, and I ask you your opinion, and you go, you blow me off, and I go, next thing you know, we're flying the darn thing.
Well, yeah, you got to experience
Is
it.
there an airplane you won't get into? No, we can't say that. One that's not maintained, right?
You can look at it and see if it's maintained right. There's some that I've got in. I'm going to the run-up pad,
Yeah.
and we didn't go any further.
You know, it's interesting. Was it about a year ago that you had me do one of a mag check, and I had a problem with the mags? That kind of one of the interesting things too is you take for granted. You go up to the run-up, you do your quick mag checks, and
Right.
and it's kind of a formality thing. And one of the things that we talked about was complacency last time. And you can get complacent or up just going, nah, just checking it off. And then I actually had a mag, remember that was acting up. And I madly made the decision to balk off. And I think one of the
I
things.
think that was in my 172. I can't remember which, which airplane.
That was 23 Mike Zulu's sister ship.
Yes.
And it concerned me, and it was really interesting because decision making is something I'm constantly being reminded of all the time. And that was a decision I had to make. Oh, it didn't look bad. It didn't even drop. We're good. It sounds great. How many people would tend to want to go flying and not shut it down? The complacency or
It'll be all right. It's been all right the
discipline.
last 25 flights.
Right.
And it wasn't 6 months ago where you and I have got the Bonanza out of the ship,
Right.
or the Baron.
Baron, right.
And we've got hundreds of hours in this airplane, and we go out to the run-up pad, and the right engine It didn't like it.
Nope.
It ended up being a magneto, but you get hundreds of hours in an airplane, you get used to everything running right, and it starts up and goes out, and when you go up to power,
Right.
it runs rough.
But I was, 120-hour guy, and I'm doing a mag check, and it didn't seem right. How many people would have? I mean, the discipline to stop what you're doing and say, "Hold on a sec," and then taxi back. And then what really bakes your noodle is the guy that gets behind me does the same mag check and it doesn't happen. And you go, "That sounds great," and it's you, not the plane, that's the problem. It was a real weird feeling for me.
And I remember the scenario you're talking
Yeah.
about now, and it was a 172.
Yeah.
And Bob went out and flew it, had a bad mag check, so we went out the next morning and did a run up. Everything was fine, and then they rented it to 2 other people, and then had another student go out, and the right mag was completely dead, but it took the mags break
Right.
down and they'll run rough, and as they heat up in temperature, and that's why it's a really good idea to do a post flight mag check right before you shut down. Run it up.
Really?
And do a post-flight mag check.
How often you should do that?
Well, the flight schools don't do it. You don't want to do it while you're on the ramp. But if you get off the taxiway and do a quick mag check.
If you have time, right? Sometimes you're getting barked
Well,
at. To
you don't want to know about time, but a lot of schools will do a mag ground check to make sure that
Right.
it grounds out. And I only do that every 50 hours flight time. The AD on the mag switch on a 172 and the 150s is every 100 hours. So it has to be done. You have to do a mag ground check because that has been a common problem.
What was the year you soloed?
1991.
Right. How old were you?
19, I believe.
Really? So you've got 4 billion hours, right?
Well, we won't go extreme.
That's right. What amazes me, though, and I'm not, this is, I'm going to give you a hug later, so don't feel
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh,
right.
oh, give me some affection.
Right. That can be edited out. But what's amazing to me is the experience level when you sit there and I describe something or somebody else describes something and go, "Oh, well, that's this." And it just blows my mind to have that much awareness. And it's really kind of cool because I'll never get there because I'll never come close to the number.
All right. So it's funny you come up with that little scenario. I have people call me, and this particular person rented an airplane they went on vacation, rented an airplane.
Yeah.
He does not have a lot of time in a fuel-injected airplane. When he rents mine, and they're only carbureted 172s. And so he calls me, he says, I'm at so-and-so airport, and I can't get the airplane started. So I go through, I figured he already flooded it. So I go through and tell him, turn the match switch on, put the mixture rich, push the throttle wide open, give the fuel pump 3 seconds just to clear it out, make sure. I said, pull the mixture to lean and crank it, and as soon as it fires
is on the
off,
phone.
swapped it. Yeah, on the
Yeah,
phone.
on the phone.
He had it started in 45 seconds.
Right.
It's
Same
just because
thing
I went
happened-
through the scenario
Right.
and told him what to do, and he
Right.
set the phone down. I heard him start it right up.
Remember when I was a sidekick and we flew, this was about a year and a half ago, we flew up to Asheville, and these 2 guys were trying to start that airplane, and they had vapor locked that thing too, and they asked me what was going on. Obviously, I looked pretty important, right?
You
Like
were
I knew what
walking
I was
around,
doing.
you were official baggage
sure,
boy.
I was, but I looked important. That was the most important thing.
Well, yeah.
It was totally not true, but regardless. And so they asked me, I go, oh, hold on a second. And so that's when I called you, and I said, hey, go over there, and literally you had them start it up in 15, 20 seconds. And I sat back and went, wow, that was really cool. So I'm always watching. I don't know if you're aware of that.
One thing that when I start an airplane is with the advancement of all the headsets.
Yeah.
Don't put your headset on until
That's
after you
true.
start the airplane.
Especially with
because
the noise cancellation things.
Right, you
Now,
can't.
these are not noise cancellation. Do
You got a
know that?
headphone on?
I can't hear. So watch. Sounds good to me, right?
Is I always put the headphones. First of all, never put your headphones on the dash of an airplane.
Ooh,
It scratches the inside of the
Yep.
windshield.
I did that once.
Yeah, I slapped your hand.
Yeah, it's not good. You're very rough on me, you know that.
When I'm not in the
Why are
airplane
you
with
so
you, who do you
mean to
think
me?
about?
That's the $1 million question.
When I'm not in the airplane with you, who do you think?
So, well, that's true. Now, here's an interesting thing: is I flew with a good friend of mine who's got billions of hours and flies for an airline, and we went in the 172. And he said, "Bob, will you
Is
go
this the
with
same guy that yells at us when we come out of Birmingham?
me?" No.
No, it's a different
Different guy.
Okay.
So he goes, "Hey, will you fly with me?" Well, somehow or another I started picking up on your flying habits. Get off the brakes. How many people see that, right? How many people just learn to get on the brakes or on the brakes and get off the brakes when you get the
How many times a flight do I tell you to get off my brakes?
Every flight.
Okay.
Every flight. It's one of those things. Well, I picked it up and I started yelling at this guy. He goes, "What are you yelling at me for?" I said, "I'm sorry. I got wienerized."
It happened.
That's right. You are affecting me in some way. I can't help it. Is that a problem for you?
No, and,
Okay.
and we will bring up more of these
We will.
problem episodes.
That's right.
That we have in the cockpit.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, I just wanted to say thanks for watching. Hopefully, we'll have some more good stuff to talk to you about in the future. And for Bob, Joel, we'll talk to you on the next episode. Awesome. Thanks,
Hey,
man.
and remember,
a good pilot, as always,
learning.
Learning, baby. See ya.